Okay, so let's take a look at some action examples for the image object. So I'm going to double click on my image object, and in the Actions panel here, in the On Click tab, I'll click on the Add Action button. From the Choose a Category pull down, I'm going to select the image set of actions here. Okay, so we're going to start off with the opacity actions. So we've got image get opacity and image set opacity. So let's choose the image get opacity. We'll double click that, and I'm going to leave everything at the default here. Basically what it's doing is it's selecting our object by default because it's the only one on the page, but if you had multiple objects you would select yours from the pull down menu here, and it's storing the value in a variable here called result. So I'm going to press finish, and that stores the for our image object, that stores the opacity value into a variable named result. Okay, so now we can use that value. So I'm going to use an image set opacity action, and in the opacity field here I'm going to type result minus 10. So basically that's going to take our current opacity and subtract 10% from that. Okay, so we'll press finish, we'll press OK, and then we'll preview our project. Now each time I click on this button, you'll see it becomes a little more transparent, and after 10 clicks, of course, it's disappeared into the background completely. So that's the image get opacity and image set opacity actions. Now let's take a look at the other unique actions for the image object. So I'm going to click at the bottom here, and we'll just go ahead and add them on top of this. Okay, so we've got the image get file info and image get file name actions. Image get file info gives you the height and the width and the bit depth of an image file. So let's go ahead and look at that one first. I'm going to double click on image get file info, and in the file name field I'm going to click on the little ellipsis here and go to the project tab here in our images folder, okay, and go ahead and select our button image and press OK. And I'm going to store the result in the variable named result. And that's okay. Normally I would choose a different name, but in this case, just for a demo, we can do that. So it's going to give us a table named result that'll have the three values for the width, the height, and the bit depth. So let's go ahead and add a dialog box just to report those values to us. So I'm just going to type this in manually. Okay, and I'm just going to go ahead here and, for example, first reference our bit depth. I could just reference all the values at once, but we're just basically doing a demo here. So I'll just reference the bit depth of that image. Okay, so when we click on this image, it's going to activate those actions. There we can see it says 32, so it's a 32-bit image. And we know that's true because it's a ping with alpha, so we know that it's a 32-bit image. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at the other unique action. I'm going to go ahead and erase this third line here, and then I'm going to click on the Add Action button, and that's the image get file name action. So I'm going to double click on that, and it's going to tell us what's the file name of the image that's loaded into our image object. Okay, and again it's going to use the variable result. We may as well just leave that, and I'm just going to remove this little bit here where it says bit depth, so that we're now just referencing the variable. We're not referencing a table value. Okay, and I'll press F5 to preview. And now when I click the button, I get a dialog message box with the complete path here and file name for our image. Okay, so those are the image object actions. As you can see, there's also the standard actions here, such as get position, set position, get size, set size, and so forth. Maybe we'll just take a quick look at those, quick review. I'm going to get rid of all my actions that I have on this button, and I'm going to go to the Add Action section here from the image actions, and I'm going to say set position, and it's got my X and Y value here, and I'm going to go ahead and set this for 200 by 200. Okay, and press finish. Now when we click that button, it's going to move it to 200 by 200. So let's go ahead and press F5 to preview, and we'll click our button, and there we go, it moved. Okay, so that's the basics of the image object actions, and that's some examples to get you going. Of course, some of this was review, and if you have any questions, you can meet us in the forum and we'll be happy to answer them. But by now you should feel fairly comfortable using image objects as page objects, page backgrounds, or as pseudo button objects. Okay, so we'll go ahead and move on to the next chapter now.